Considering that death was not the desired outcome, do you ever think perhaps you failed him?
Well, all I know is that we did everything, and I was involved from the word go. I was in October 1976, middle-aged man and woman walked into our office in the Falls Road and says, "We don't know where our son is." And it was Kieran Nugent's parents. Kieran Nugent had been sentenced around about the 14th of September 1976 and disappeared. There's no contact with him. Solicitor didn't know where he was. Parents didn't know where he was. He'd been taken to the H blocks, which had just opened. And they beat him, tried to get him to wear a uniform if he wanted to visit, and he refused. And he was locked up in solitary confinement. And then more people joined the blanket protest. I think the second man on the blanket was Ned Flint from Andersonstown, and then more joined the blanket. So from 1976 to 1981, as editor of Republican News, as a member of the Railroads Action Committee, because I was in Beachmount at the time and helped found the Railroads Action Committee there. Later as a member of the National Smash H Block Armagh Committee, as a visitor to the jail throughout 79 and 80, and as a person who was meeting with Cardinal O'Fee, trying to mediate an end to the hunger strike, as a person who was involved with Jerry Adams in getting the IRA to stop its campaign against prison officers in reprisal for the beatings in Long Kesh. I think that I can clearly state that we did our utmost, A, on behalf of the prisoners, and B, to prevent a hunger strike. When the prisoners went on hunger strike, it was our duty to support them. It was our duty to support them if they went on it and if they came off it, and it was our duty to be faithful to them. And because no one on the outside has a right to judge their actions unless you experienced what they went through. The beatings, the humiliation, solitary confinement, bread and water diet, no exercise, living in conditions for 3 years where their cells were covered in their own excrement over an issue when they were once allowed to go to the toilet and then they weren't allowed to go to the toilet. The light was closed up from coming in. The prison officers closed the lights off, sealed the doors, hosed them down, sheared their hair, forcibly bathed them with and used scrubbing brushes. And when they went on visits, when they did take a visit, that in itself was an opportunity for the prison officers to beat them further, to put their fingers up their back passages, nail searches. So the horrific nature of that protest, when you look back, it's unbelievable. And so therefore, I look back and I say, well, I don't know how much more we could have done. We were loyal to them, and that's the most important thing. They were our comrades and we were loyal to them.
So I'll wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time, that Britain might brand Ireland's fight 800 years of crime. I learned of centuries of strife, of cruel laws, injustice rife. I saw now in my own young life the fruits of foreign sway. Protesters threatened, tortured, maimed, divisions nurtured, passions flamed, outrage provoked, rights cause defamed. This is the conqueror's way. So I'll wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time, that Britain might brand Ireland's fight 800 years of crime. Descended from proud Connacht clan, Concannon served cruel Britain's plan. Man's inhumanity to man had spawned a trusty slave. No strangers are these bolts and locks, no new design, these dark H-blocks. Black Cromwell lives, while Mason stalks. The bully taunts the brave. But I'll wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time, that Britain might brand Ireland's fight 800 years of crime. Does Britain need 1,000 years of protest, riot, death and tears? Or will these past decades of fears of 80 decades spell an end to Ireland's agony, new hope for human dignity? And will the last obscenity be this grim H-block cell? I'll wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time, that Britain might brand Ireland's fight 800 years of crime.
You know, it's difficult to know at times where we got the strength to do it, but we had to be absolutely and totally focused and single-minded about what we were going to do. Hunger striking isn't something you can say, well, I'll try it for a couple of weeks, and if I don't like it, well, I'll come off it. You have to be absolutely sure that you're going to go through with it, or there's no point doing it. And we were totally focused and totally single-minded on what we were going to do. So single-minded, in fact, I told this story recently. In 1981, my older sister, who was a year older than me, was diagnosed with leukemia and given 5 to 6 years to live. And thinking back now, it was very callous of me on my parents to go ahead with the hunger strike. But we had made our decision, and nothing, absolutely nothing, could have deflected us from that. We believed that, first of all, the British occupation of our country was a massive injustice. We believed that the oppression, the brutality and the torture that existed within the H-blocks was simply a microcosm of the malign influence that Britain had in this country. And we believed that we were right, first of all, to take up arms. And while I now am pleased that the arms struggle is over, it's a source of pride to me, myself, that I did take up arms and that I resisted British rule in this country.